Hello, viewers. Thank you for joining us at Hanging Out with Vicky. Today, I've got these lovely ladies with us, and they are Mrs. Mary Amwakwa-Boedu and Miss Linda Osei-Poku. Mrs. Mary Amwakwa-Boedu is the founder of the GhanaDiaspora Women, and Linda Osei-Poku is one of the executives for the GhanaDiaspora Women. They do have a lunch on Saturday, and they are here to talk about the lunch. And also for the benefit of those who have not heard of the GhanaDiaspora Women, we're going to take the opportunity to, tell you our vision, what we are for, and so far what we've done since, this idea came about. I've interviewed Mrs. Maria Amwakwa-Boedu some time ago. That was when she delved into the vision of GhanaDiaspora Women. It was a very interactive program, and a lot of people, were amazed. We had so many people, showing their interest to join us. Since then, the number of women who have joined this, movement is amazing. So today, when we are going to have the lunch on Saturday, so we are here to tell you about it. I'm not going to waste much of your time. If you want to call the studio, the number is 020-800 46100. If you want to call the studio, the number is 020-800 46100. GhanaDiaspora Women. Before I start, I will probably like us to watch a video of the lunch which is coming up on Saturday, the 26th. Take a look.
Hello UK, hello London. My name is Giftianti. I am coming to London to be a part of the launch of GhanaDiaspora Women. This group that is about to be launched is out to do exploit for our motherland Ghana, and not just Ghana, across Africa as well. This is going to take place on the 26th of October 2019. The venue is Doubletree by Hilton, Tower of London, 7 Pepe Street, London EC3N 4AF. Time is 10 a.m. sharp, and we know you don't play with your time. So by 2 p.m. we are done. I am coming with my books, a bit of me. Those of you who don't have copies yet, and if you have a copy, I'm ready to do some autographs and signing for you. And maybe we'll have one-on-one pep talk as well. So don't be a dropout. Make sure we meet on that set date for a wonderful time.
Thank you very much. I hope you really enjoyed the advert, and definitely it's going to entice you, to be part of this wonderful lunch. So many people are going to attend, and the place, trust me, is going to be packed. So make it a point to make your way to the Doubletree by Hilton, Tower of London, 7 Pepsi Street, EC3N4AF. Marie, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You look wonderful.
Thank you, Vicky.
I know you've been very busy today with the last minute, touches towards the launch on Saturday.
That's right.
GhanaDiaspora Women. There are people asking questions since the last time you came on the show. Please tell them a little bit about GhanaDiaspora Women.
Sure. GhanaDiaspora Women is a women's organization,
Yes.
or a women's movement, I like to call it. And the reason I prefer to use the word movement is because I believe it's about time that Ghanaian women really come together, unite, mobilize ourselves to be a part of nation building. So in summary, GhanaDiaspora Women is a women's movement, a group of women who have come together promoting or championing the cause of more women going into the Parliament of Ghana. We believe that women have equity, women have talents, gifts, abilities that have not been tapped into yet. And so we want to present the equity that we have, that is Ghanaian women living abroad. We want to come together and present the equity that we have to our political leadership and say to them that we also have something to contribute. Now, the whole vision came about as a result of our president making some very interesting comments about us Ghanaian women at a women's conference in Canada around the beginning of summer.
Okay.
So he was at a women's conference, and it was a well-meaning comment. He was asked, and I'll have to paraphrase here, about why there aren't many women in decision-making or policy-making in Ghana. And his response was that we make the majority of the population. So Ghanaian women form about 52% of the population. However, those numbers are not really reflecting in policy making or decision making. So if you check the statistics as they stand now, Ghana's parliament has 275 seats. Only 36 of them are occupied by women. Yes.
Just 30.
36.
36?
Yes, are occupied by women. So it means that we as Ghanaian women are sort of affirming the fact that we still live in a patriarchal system or a man's world, where we are still allowing the men to make decisions that affect our lives on a daily basis, the lives of our families, our children, our rights, and everything that has to do with us as women. So when the president made those comments, for me, it really touched my heart. It got me thinking. And I asked myself for a few days, what can I do as an individual about this? But I've always had a vision, and I've always been somebody who, since ever discovering my purpose, I've always had the passion to work with women and girls, to empower women and girls. So I thought to myself, okay, if there's only 36 women in the Parliament of Ghana, as opposed to 275 seats, then for me, I think it's an empowerment issue. Are we empowered enough to go into decision making? Why aren't women presenting themselves?
Yes.
And even if they are, what are the obstacles that they are facing that perhaps is not reflecting on the numbers there? It's something I believe we need to look into. So I started doing my own research, and I realized that there were quite a number of female-led NGOs in Ghana who share a similar vision and are already doing some work to do with how they can also contribute to us sort of sending more women into our parliament. So then it became a case of, okay, what can we, those of us in the diaspora, also do to add our voices or our energies to those back home who are already doing it? So I thought, okay, create a platform. I mean, it was a calling that came. I just heard it so loud in my spirit. Create a platform and see how best you can rally together Ghanaian women living in the diaspora. And so in a nutshell, that's what Ghana, I mean, that's our core vision, to send women into the Parliament of Ghana. But then we have other aspects of the organization, that because we believe that not every woman has a dream or the aspiration of going into the seat of government. However, there are several other ways by which we can contribute towards nation building. So that's what the organization is about, to see how we can champion the rights of women and girls.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please share this live interview on Facebook. If you want to get in touch with us, you can send your comments, via Facebook, HeritageTV. If you want to watch us on YouTube, it's HeritageTV. All the social media handles is HeritageTV. If you want to call us in the studio, our number is 020-800 46100. I'll have to go to Linda. Linda, hi.
How are you?
I like the way you are representing the Ghanaian culture.
Yes, thank you.
That's lovely. Very impressed. Now, Linda, what are some of the visions, projects that the Ghana Diaspora women are championing?
Okay, before we go into our project, I would like to touch on what Mary said. Is like Ghana Diaspora Women is not just another organization, because I think many women are tired of going into another thing without any work done. Maybe it's just, let's say, an association, and then there's no really works to be seen. But this organization is actually women coming from different backgrounds.
That's right.
Doing their own things on the side as well. I mean, I have a woman, Sister Vicky, I have a women organization.
Yeah.
But this is really something for all of us, for all Ghanaian women who have the abilities, the capabilities, the strength, the knowledge, the passion, to do something back home, to empower women back home. So I just want to emphasize on this. It is not just an individual, goal. Okay. It's for everybody, every Ghanaian woman, who wants to see a change in Ghana.
Okay.
So I think as diaspora, I would say diasporan ladies or women, when we go back home, we see so many things going on, and sometimes it's heartbreaking. Sometimes you get so frustrated, you get really, really angry about what is going on. And one of our many projects that we do as Ghanaian diaspora women is we try to eliminate school under trees. So sometimes when you go to Ghana, in certain parts of our country, it is heartbreaking to see children who are sitting under trees, learning, studying. I mean, it's not acceptable. And as mothers, as women, we have to do something about it. There is something that can be done in terms of resources, in terms of knowledge, in terms of understanding of where we are now in the diaspora and transmitting it in Ghana. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. So the school under trees, by God's grace, we've started to do some work. There's also something that is really, really on our hearts. It's maternal health. Death. Sorry. So it's heartbreaking that even in 2019, sometimes we hear that this woman died, during childbirth because of, let's say, electricity, or because something ran out of the hospital. I mean, basic things that shouldn't be a problem in our nation. So we also touch on this point, how can we help mothers? How can we help women that are going through childbirth, pregnancy? How best can we provide basic needs? I mean, sometimes we think that we can, it's all about huge sums of money, but sometimes it's just petty things, toiletries, medicine, yes, so we touch on these things. And then we have another project as well, which is women in business, right? That's right. Yes. So equity and equality. So equality. So we in the diaspora now, and we've realized that women as well trade a lot. It's the season where people have seen that they can do something with their hands. They are gifted in business, in gift, and we've told ourselves that, okay, as Ghanaian women, we know that we are skilled in many ways. Why don't we come together as well, bring forth our businesses, and then get this revenues or this, profits towards our projects? So it's not only, as I will say it again, it's not only talking and saying that we are doing this, we are going to do it. It's really rolling our sleeves up, getting our hands dirty and working, because there's work to be done.
Absolutely brilliant. Marie, whilst Linda was talking about these, projects that you are trying to, help with, I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get sponsors, be it financial support whatsoever. What plans do you have in place to see, in trying to get people to help financially, or probably, providing materials?
Yeah. Very good question. I think for me, I've had a lot of suggestions. People seem to have so many ideas in terms of funding. Oh, you should go for funding here. This company can give funding. Let's apply for this. Let's apply for that. But for me, I sit back and I think and I ask myself, okay, it's all well and good that we go apply for funding for all these projects, but it's our responsibility. It's our responsibility. Yeah. So I just hope and pray that people understand that it's our collective responsibility as Ghanaians to go back home and begin to resolve some of these issues. Oftentimes, we tend to say it's the responsibility of the government. But what we tend to forget is that we form the government. We are the nation. Yes. I always say that our leaders are just a small group of people out of the 30 million Ghanaians that we elect every 4 years to sort of champion or spearhead certain policies, projects, and things like that. But when it comes to the ultimate, the core of nation building, it is each and every citizen's responsibility. So when we look back here in the diaspora, there's about 5 million Ghanaians in the diaspora. If every Ghanaian, if we are to be able to reach every Ghanaian living in the diaspora, male and female, to give just $1 per year, that's $5 million a year. Now, it may seem unrealistic, but I like to be optimistic and have a positive mindset. And I believe that even the 5 million in the diaspora, the majority are women. So how best can we reach all these women and say to them, okay, some of us are ready to actually be at the forefront of these projects or be at the forefront of the organization. We don't necessarily want to go and sit in the parliament ourselves. We want to empower women to go. But as we are doing that, we believe on the side that we can be doing some of these projects, helping to alleviate some of the burden of the government. These are our children. They may not be our biological children, but they are our children. They are the next generation. We actually have a responsibility, a huge responsibility on our shoulders to make sure that we leave a better Ghana for them. So let's get involved. Bear in mind also that the president himself is championing Ghana Beyond Aid. Meaning that a time has come where we need to renew our mindsets and snap out of that poverty kind of mindset into the mindset that, look, we actually do have abundance. We sit on wealth. We sit on abundance. So let's give towards causes like this. We give to our churches. We are very good at giving. I fail to accept the fact that Ghanaians don't know how to give. We really do know how to give, but sometimes our giving, to me, I would say, it goes to the wrong places. Let's look at certain priorities. And schools and the trees, maternal health, maternal death is a major priority, because education is one of our major pitfalls. If we are able to alleviate and raise many more educated youth, particularly many more girls, you know, if we're able to educate many more girls, then like Kweji Agri said, you educate a man, you educate an individual, you educate a woman or a girl, a whole entire nation. So that's the pathway for us, and we believe that crowdfunding, for me personally, I believe that crowdfunding amongst our own selves as Ghanaians, before we even begin to look externally and reach out to foreign organizations or international bodies for funding to help us towards these causes.
All right. Marie, since we met the last time, can you tell me what you've done so far?
So far what we've done, particularly in terms of the schools and the trees, is we did a bit of research as an organization, and we found out that there was one particular journalist in Ghana, and I'm sure she wouldn't mind me mentioning her name, Efia Pokua of Adom FM. She is one of the main journalists who is really pushing this agenda as well. So we reached out to her and we said, because we live in the diaspora, we live abroad, we are not often quite back home ourselves. So I think the best way for now is to champion some of our efforts through those who are already doing it, i.e. other female-led NGOs. So a couple of our executives, I think, yourself, but you had left just the day before the donation was made.
I missed it.
Yes. So a few of our executives happened to be in Ghana about 6 weeks or so ago, and we decided that let's, from the crowdfunding, the little that we had raised, we took some money out and we donated 50 bags of cement towards 2 schools in northern Ghana. So that's something that we've already started. And she has promised that it's a partnership that we've begun. we do have our own vision to eventually go to Ghana early next year, visit some of these places, because thankfully, and thanks to the Minister for Education, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, I've been able to obtain a list of where these schools and the trees are in the country, so that even if we are able to pick them 1 or 2 a year, depending on what our strength can do and the response that we have from the diaspora. So we're looking at visiting Ghana early next year, a few of us, the executives, perhaps with our board chairperson, to speak to a few key stakeholders to see if we can adopt 1 or 2 schools in northern Ghana and begin to work on those. Even if we are able to put 3 classroom blocks up for them before the rain starts, that's my dream.
That's what we call action takers, not talk.
Yes, action. Yes, and that's what the president said in his video. He said, otherwise, it's just wishful thinking. We do a lot of talking in all our women's groups. It's high time they see activism, movement, and dynamism. So that's what we're out to do.
So back to the launch on Saturday. I think today, you woke up very early in the morning.
We did actually.
To welcome the main guest speaker.
Yourself included.
Oh. I always want to hide behind you. Yes. So, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a sneak peek when Marie and Tim met the guest speaker at the airport this morning.
Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes, darling. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I kept you waiting. Oh, I think you were never coming.
Oh, no, you're Akwaba. Very nice to meet you.
Mommy, nice to meet you too.
Sorry, you're live on Facebook.
Okay, so
Already.
you know I'm here.
That's
so
it.
Saturday is coming on live. Don't miss it. 9 a.m. prompt. You are late, we close the gate.
There we go.
It's going to be exciting, so don't miss it.
There you go. So you heard her right there. Don't miss it on Saturday. Straight on time, 10 p.m. prompt. Marie, do you want to say
10 a.m.
10 a.m. prompt.
Yes, so hi everybody. Hope you're all doing well. We've just picked up Ohenere, Gifty Auntie. Mommy, any auntie? That's amazing.
Marie,
beautiful.
do you want to all get in?
Yes, sure.
Okay, ready. Let's do a quick shot. Okay, I can't miss out on it. Yes? Okay. Great.
And then there has to be a...
Yes, so there you are, a sneak peek of what happened this morning at Heathrow, where we, welcome Ohene Yure Gifty Auntie. I would like to take this opportunity to say a very big welcome to London. We hope you will enjoy your stay, and also, we also want to take this opportunity to thank you for this opportunity to grace this wonderful occasion. So, Ohene Yure Gifty, thank you so much. May God richly bless you. Now, Marie, give me the what's going to happen on that day.
On Saturday?
Yes, on Saturday.
Right.
Just a little then, Linda will also take over because Linda is too relaxed for my liking.
And she's the main person.
She's the main person, the organizer. For some reason, she's decided to be quiet. So I would like you to leave just a bit for Linda to also, because she's too quiet for my liking.
Right. So I think, as with everything, when you start, you have an idea, you do a bit of background work first. So in doing our background work, we were thinking, okay, who can we work with in Ghana? Who is the main go-to person in terms of female advocacy? Somebody who's been championing the cause of women, of girls, for more than a decade now. And it turned out to be Ohene Yure Gifty Auntie. So we reached out to her and we said, this is a new organization, a new vision, new idea. Could you mentor us? Could you be a part of the whole organization, like a patron? And gladly she agreed to be a mentor, because if you don't have a mentor in these things, somebody's already done it. The pathway is there. The wheel is already there. You don't need to reinvent it. So she agreed, and we thought, okay, if that's the case, then you coming over to be our keynote speaker, we think is perfect, so that we can have more insights as to what this whole thing entails, what is exactly going on the ground. We can pick some nuggets from there. Do our own kind of mastermind here before we actually launch out into the deep in Ghana as of next year. So she arrived this morning, thankfully, and I think we need to appreciate her husband as well, and her family, her daughter, who have allowed her to come and be with us for this great occasion. So the actual details I'll pass on to Miss Linda.
Some of the other guests, Bernard Owusu.
Yes. So we have on Saturday, I want to take this opportunity to invite everybody on Saturday. It's going to be amazing. I've had few questions, people asking me, is it only for Ghanaians? No, it's for Africans, it's for women. If you are a woman advocating for the right of women, young women, children, welfare of, human beings, you are welcome to come. We are not just, saying it's only for Ghanaians. Come and let's share knowledge and together. On Saturday, God willing, so we have few surprises for you.
I know. Few surprises. Let's leave it there, because if you give it all out, people go that, Linda has already said that, you know what, let me relax. Some people will even decide to come later.
I know.
Yes, please, no Ghana time. There's nothing like Ghana time.
No, we're not doing
10 o'clock on the dot.
9 o'clock actually. We want people to arrive at 9. Although it says 10 on the flyer, that's the time that the actual program starts. That's not the time we want people to leave home. The program starts at 10 o'clock exactly. So ideally arrive at 9, have an hour for networking, to take your photos and things like that before we start exactly 10 o'clock. Yes.
All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is fast spent, so we'll bring this discussion to a close. We'll definitely be back again, after the launch to give you feedback on, the outcome, what people observed during the launch. So we'll definitely be back again after the launch and tell you more about what happened during the launch and the future projects that we have for you. So Marie, just give us the address quickly before we leave the studio.
Sure.
Yeah, on Saturday.
So it's Doubletree by Hilton, Tower of London, 7 Pepe Street, London, EC3N 4AF. Nearest tube station is Tower Hill Station, which is on the District Line, 2 minutes away from the hotel. You can't miss it, and please do well to be there for 9 a.m.
Definitely. I'm going to be there, so please make sure you also be there. Ohineyori, the gifty auntie, will be signing her book.
Her book signing as well, a bit of me.
Well. So there's an opportunity to meet her face to face and for her to sign, a book when you purchase one. So I will be coming live with few friends. Make sure you also do the same, and we are going to have a very successful day on Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on Saturday. God bless. Bye.